All over the world, numerous amounts of crimes happen in seconds. Some willingly partaking, and some unknowingly. But we will never stop spreading the word until the criminals are captured.
5 high school students in Michigan are accused of throwing rocks off an overpass and killing a man. Kenneth White was 32 years old. He was a father of 4 children. 5 high school students in Michigan are accused of throwing rocks off an overpass and killing a man. Kenneth White was 32 years old. He was a father of 4 children. He was riding home last week when a rock hit and killed him. The 5 suspects are 15 to 17 years old. They are all charged with second-degree murder. Adriana Diaz is at the Genesee County Jail in Flint, Michigan, where the oldest suspect is being held. Adriana, good morning.
Good morning. The teenager who prosecutors believe actually dropped the rock is 17-year-old Kyle Anger. He's the one being held here at the county jail. The others are at a juvenile detention facility. They were all arraigned yesterday and are being tried as adults. The 5 teenage defendants were expressionless as their lawyers entered not guilty pleas for them.
My client has no criminal record whatsoever.
Their distraught families watched the proceedings. So did the grieving father of Kenneth White, the 32-year-old victim.
I buried my mother, my father, and my oldest brother in the last 4 years, and this is the hardest thing I've ever did in my life.
Police say White, a construction worker, was getting a ride home in a Ford Econoline van around 8:30 p.m. last Wednesday. That's when a 6-pound rock, about 5 inches wide and 8 inches long, was allegedly dropped from an overpass and crashed through the windshield. The father of 4 was struck in the face and chest. He was declared dead on arrival at the hospital.
It's not a prank, it's second-degree murder.
Officials say after the incident, the suspects went to McDonald's. Investigators say they found at least 20 rocks on Interstate 75. One weighed more than 20 pounds. Frank Manley and Fred Myers represent 2 of the defendants, Mark Zakelski and Trevor Gray. How's your client doing?
Scared. He feels devastated for the victim and the family.
I think there's been a public rush to accept that these kids are bad, that they're almost animalistic, and they should be punished as such.
Your Honor, Mr. Miller understands the serious nature of the charges he's facing.
The suspects face up to life in prison, but Kenny White Sr., the victim's father, says that's not enough.
Even if they spend 30 years in prison, they get to wake up every single morning. They still get phone calls from their parents. They still get visitors. My son don't get none of that no more. That was taken away from him for something stupid.
Investigators believe the suspects also dropped a tire and car engine parts from another overpass nearby, damaging other vehicles. They were denied bail and are due back in court November 2nd.
This is not kind of crazy. This is fucking crazy. Okay, I get it, wanting to play pranks and doing all that stuff, but at what point do you not realize that you're going too far? When does somebody in the group say this is enough? That's why you have to be careful about being in groups and having multiple friends and everybody hanging out together. Or it's always somebody in a group who want to be the leader and people following up behind somebody, and there's always some type of peer pressure. You don't do it, you a pussy. You a scary cat. People be so scared of what they friend gonna say and calling them scary cats and pussies and stuff that they just gonna do anything just to be down. Like, come on now. Don't fall into that type of peer pressure. Call me a pussy. Call me what you want to call me. But if I don't want to do it because I don't feel comfortable with it, I'm not gonna fucking do it. Now, if you trick me into doing some shit, then we gonna fucking go from there. But some shit like this, come on now, playing prank. And these ain't even fucking little rocks that they were throwing. These rocks they were throwing were big ass rocks. You are old enough to understand and to know better. They shouldn't have been throwing rocks at all. But come on now. If you was going to throw a rock, why not throw a fucking a little rock, or, you know, something that might crack a windshield or might bounce on it and bounce off. If that's what y'all was going to do. But that's not what I'm encouraging. But I'm pretty sure that would have made a hell of a fucking lot difference, and they would have still been out, and that man would have still had his fucking life if it had been a smaller rock versus a bigger rock. No, it shouldn't have been no fucking rock. But this is psychotic. This is crazy. You choose to pick up a fucking 20-pound rock? They said one of the rocks they found was 20 pounds. That's like basically just picking up a fucking brick. 2 or 3 bricks and dropping it. That's crazy. They knew better than this, and then y'all expect to get off? Y'all expect for your kids to get off? Like, come on now. This man died. This man was at work, coming home from work. Y'all know how it is. Well, some of y'all. A fucking long ass day at work. Ain't no telling what he was dealing with on the job. A long ass day. When you get off work, you looking forward to go home and walking in your house and seeing whoever is at the house. Even if you live alone and you got a dog, you looking forward to twist a knob and a dog jump up and down. If you ain't got nobody there, you happy to just walk into your house and relax. What kind of shit is this? On the way home, fucking kids want to drop big ass fucking rocks and hit them in the head. Oh, I could just see it going straight through the windshield, hitting them in the head, and then it said it hit them in the chest. So that was a double impact. Although it was one rock, it was a double impact because it hit him in the head first, and it hit him in the chest. It impacted his chest as well. So this is, pranks can definitely go too far. Y'all gotta watch this prank shit. And I don't ever like to sound like a negative Nancy where it be like, damn, kids can't play, kids can't do nothing no more. But you gotta watch what the fuck you doing. I got some kids right now out here where I live at, in my complex. So a month ago, the boys outside playing. It was about 6 boys. They all from different age ranges. The oldest one was 15, and the little kids following up behind the oldest one. The oldest one was 15. The other one was 13. It was an 11-year-old, and then it was like a 7-year-old and like a 9 and a 10-year-old. They all outside playing. But they playing in the wrong way. They all ganged up. I'm walking my dog, and I see them all. And mind you, I had seen them the night before. And I was like, what the fuck is they doing? I'm peeping shit out. I have to peep shit out because you have to know your surroundings now. They running up to people's door, kicking people's door, and beating on the door and running away. Y'all know how we used to play, what they call it, nigger knocker? Or I don't know what some other people call it, but we used to call it nigger knocker, where you run to somebody's door and knock on the door and run. But now they taking it too far. They kicking the door and they bamming on it. And then they running. I had seen them the night before. The second night, I happened to be out there again. This time, all you hear is a boom, and they running, and everybody go hiding behind cars underneath the carport and shit. And I'm like, oh hell no, that was loud. Next thing you know, the neighbors coming out the house. They looking like, they don't see the kids. I know the kids did it. And they looking like, what's going on? What's going on? What the fuck was that? Mind you, I'm the only one out there, so they looking like, bitch, what's going on? Did you do something? Did you see something? You know what I mean? And I'm just like, wow, I can't believe this. So when the guy, he didn't know when he had first opened his door to come outside. When he went back to go into the house, his door was off the hinges. His top hinge was off. The bottom one was still on, but the top one was off. So playing can definitely go too far. What if he had a fucking came outside with a gun shooting? You know how many people live in a house that are fucking scared to be by themselves? People have bipolar disease. People have schizophrenia disease where they already hear stuff. You don't know what the fuck a motherfucker is diagnosed with, okay? You don't know. Some people got bad anxiety. You don't know what they already got up in their house that they already scared finna protect themselves. You don't know what. What if he had it came out shooting? And the crazy part about it is, who was right there? Me and my goddamn dog. The kids hiding behind cars underneath the carport. You feel me? So what if that had happened then? It would have been me, an innocent bystander, somebody who didn't have nothing to do with nothing, in a fucking crossfire. So that's what I'm saying. You have to watch what you're doing. Pranking can go too far. They killing kids today anyway. Like, you can't do shit. It's not even about old people dying. It's not about how it used to be back in the day. You live to get a certain age and you die. No, anybody is fucking going. They killing adults. They killing kids. They killing infants. Anybody can fucking go. Anybody. And anybody can also go to fucking jail or fucking prison. That's that. So it's not about being tight in the ass. It's not about being a negative Nancy. It's not about being too serious. It's not about none of that. When shit gets real, and what was always supposed to be meant for fun and games turned out to be fucking crazy. Turned out to be a fucking crime. That's the crazy part about it. Ain't none of us perfect. We all like to play. Shit, even some adults, we still play games and shit or whatever. Get drunk, run outside, do this or whatever. You know, but the thing is, certain shit you just know not to do. Pranks going way too fucking far. But anyway, let's get into the next clip. We're going to see what they charge with. Let's get into the next clip.
The proposal for juvenile sentencing is rejected.
After much consideration and testimony from experts, Judge Joseph Farah says 4 of the Clio rock throwers will be sentenced as adults. Mark Sikelski, McCaden Payne, Trevor Gray, and Alexander Miller all pled guilty to manslaughter for the death of Kenneth White, who was killed in 2017. Prosecutors say the 4 were with Kyle Anger when Anger threw a rock from the I-75 overpass, killing White. Farah spoke in court today about how he came to this decision, reading Snapchat discussions between the teens that showed little remorse.
Lay low for a while and everything will be fine. Only way we get in trouble is if a, and I won't say the word, spelled rats, so you better hope he didn't give in already, or else we're going to the slammer.
After the decision was read, we talked to Kenneth White's mother, Teresa Simpson.
Yes, I'm very pleased with it. My prayers were answered. Kenneth's prayers were answered. I'm ecstatic over the decision that was made today.
Defense attorney Frank Manley says it's back to the drawing board when it comes to what's next.
But there's no winners. We started at the beginning of this. There is no winners. You have a person who was, his life was taken. Now we have 4 young boys whose lives may be taken. So to sit here and say that this is somehow a win for one side or the other, it's not. It's very sad all across the board.
Exactly what I said and what I thought. What did the fucking judge say? He read the Snapchats and everything. And in the group chats, what did it say? Oh, we're going to be fine. Let this just roll over unless a motherfucker... And it probably said nigga. And I'm assuming that's what it said. That's why they blanked it out. And he spelled it. Unless a motherfucker open their mouth and rats. That's what I'm saying. And rats. That's that peer pressure and the pressure of you a rat. But y'all heard what the judge said. And I think he ruled in the right way. I honestly do. I believe he ruled in the right way. His mom is oh my goodness. It's sad. Like the man said, this ain't no win. It's not a win. Somebody's life is gone. Somebody's life is taken, and then 4 other kids who ain't even had the opportunity to live their life. Still teenagers fucking gone for I don't know how long. More than 20 years. This is sad. It's sad. And you heard earlier in the other clip, the father say he had buried his mother, he buried his father, and he buried his oldest brother in the last 4 years. And he said this by far is the hardest. That's crazy. All them fucking losses. And this by far is the hardest because why? That's his child. I'm finna be out this thing. Let's get the comment section cracking. Okay? I want to know what y'all think. I want to know. Let's get into a whole discussion down in the comment section. Let's get it cracking. Until next time on CSWN. Hashtag CSWN. Crime Stories with Nina. As we continue to pray for the healing of this nation and let God rule and reign, we won't stop fighting because most of all, we want justice.